Hey there. Welcome to the More Than Anxiety podcast. I'm Megan DeVito, and I help ambitious women break out of the anxiety spiral so they can stop overthinking and actually enjoy life. This podcast is all about real talk, simple shifts, and light bulb moments that'll change the way you think, feel, and show up for yourself and everybody else in your life too. You'll get straight up truth, actionable steps, and the inspiration to finally break free from the stress and second guessing. Let's get to it. Welcome back to another episode of More Than Anxiety. As always, I am thrilled that you decided to join me today, or maybe that you invited a friend to listen as well, which is always something that I appreciate. Thank you for sharing this podcast. I love making it for you. Today, I want to talk about uncertainty and navigating all or nothing thinking. This episode was really designed for women who are high achieving, who are motivated and capable, women who find themselves also stuck in thought patterns where everything feels very black or white. We're going to talk about the emotions that are tied to these thoughts, common reactions that you might notice in yourself, and I'm going to challenge what you're thinking about all the things that are happening in your life right now. So you know that feeling where everything is either perfect or complete failure, or black or white, as I said just a minute ago, where there's no room for all of the incredible stuff that happens in that really messy middle area. If you are driven and you are capable and you are juggling home and work and you're constantly working toward having success in your career, but also trying to be present when you're at home with your partner or your kids, if you're looking for more time for yourself, we have to talk about all or nothing thinking. So this is for you. So really the problem here is not trying to find right or wrong, which is part of it, but really the uncertainty and not knowing the how or the what. So let's start by understanding where all of this is coming from. I like to tell you guys stories about clients that I've worked with or about women who I've gone through on boundaries and balance audit with. So we're going to begin with that. To be clear, I don't ever share details about the people that I'm talking. I always change their name. So when I refer to Heather this week, Heather isn't actually a person's name. I have done an audit with a Heather before, but it's not about Heather. It's about a different person. So I am changing the names to protect the innocent here. But let's talk about Heather. Heather left her job just a few months ago. She wasn't laid off. She wasn't burnt out. She just had the insight to be able to see down the road a little bit. And she didn't love what she saw. She knew that her values and her purpose weren't really heading in the same direction as her career. I can't even say that she was particularly upset or excited. She was very neutral, which is interesting because it's what I want my clients to shoot for, is neutral. I don't want big excitement or big lows. It was great that she came to this call in a very neutral place. And I want to take a second to talk about what I mean by that. Life is full of circumstances. Circumstances are just kind of a fancy word for what's going on around us. The really kind of morbid situation I always go to is grandma dies. That is a circumstance. And you can take two different thought trails on that, right? You can be devastated. You can talk about how your life is over, how you don't know how your family will function. And all of those things could be true for you. Or you could say, oh my gosh, what an incredible woman. That woman has been waiting for Jesus her entire life. I'm so thrilled that she's finally there. Two different thoughts, same circumstance. So it's the thoughts that you have about the things that are going on in your life that determine how you feel. And logically, we know this until anxiety and uncertainty decide to stick their noses into the situations. So what we want to do is when we can take things as neutral, that gives us an opportunity to step back and look at our thoughts. So I want to tell you really quickly what Heather said to me in this conversation. She said, in looking for work, I feel overwhelmed. I've not done this in a really long time. I am excited for whatever comes next and to start doing something new, but I don't love the uncertainty. I had something where I felt certain for a long time. And even when it was busy or when it was changing, I knew that it was seasonal and that I'd be back to normal in a normal work environment in a month or so. So she didn't need constant security, but as we talked, she's like, I just don't have this certainty anymore. I feel okay about leaving. I feel curious about what comes next, but I can't handle the in-between. Your brain
my brain, her brain, all brains love certainty. We think it's predictable. We think we're in control when we have that certainty. It's safe because you've already survived it, even when you didn't love whatever was going on or how it was, right? So this feeling of uncertainty isn't necessarily just about work either, is it? So for Heather, it was really affecting her mentally and emotionally. And when we talked, she was actually feeling pretty anxious about knowing the right next step. And this is where we get into that all or nothing thinking. Right? She said she was looking for the right choice. She was looking for the right or the perfect job. And it wasn't about being capable or doing something different. She felt capable. She just wanted to use her capabilities in the right place and to be perfect in her choices. I just thought it was really interesting coming from somebody who wasn't a teacher. This is something that I hear so often. I talk with so many women on LinkedIn who used to be teachers. If you know my background, I was a teacher before I went full in on my coaching business. I balanced those two things for a while. But as teachers, oftentimes we will like to pigeonhole ourselves. That hello, my name is teacher name tag is super sticky. So if you are a former teacher that has left the classroom and you're like, it just won't come off, I still feel like a teacher. Yeah, you're in really good company. But this woman I was talking to, Heather, she wasn't a teacher. And she still was in this place where she just had these past experiences that felt like a part of her personality. So a lot of times people, when I'm coaching them, will say, well, I am a perfectionist. You can choose to stop being a perfectionist. You can choose to stop being a worrier. You really, really can. That may sound impossible right now, but that's exactly what I help people do. So when she said, I'm such a perfectionist. I'm trying to be right and do the right thing because it makes me feel anxious when I'm not. And that's all true. I'm sure she felt very anxious when she was trying to be right and have things perfect. But none of those things are personality traits. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's talk about trying to find the right answers and really find a solution. And the solution starts by looking at what you're doing now. This is why the boundaries and balance audit is so powerful. It shows you, hey, this is what's going on in my life. This is not working for me, but this over here, this is going well. So as I'm talking with her, you could really hear Heather wrestling with this decision to leave and trying to justify it or talk herself through doing what was actually a great choice for her. And she admitted that as well. This is a really common struggle for high achievers. It's that pressure to be doing something or to be productive. And it can make you feel guilty or even shameful to think that you are being a burden to your spouse. Like, I was the breadwinner. I should be going out there and making more money. I should be finding a job right now. And Heather's admitting to me on this call that actually things were fine, but she had a lot of thoughts about what she thought she should be doing and how productive she should be during the day, whatever that meant for her. And again, we all have different levels of productivity as well. So here's something she said. I like to pull these quotes because I know that when one person says them, they're going through so many of our heads. And I know that every time I'm talking to someone, I'm like, oh, no way, you thought that too? So here's what Heather said. She said, I feel like I need to be doing my part to take care of our household. I was the one who carried the health insurance. So we didn't just give up some of our income, we give up our insurance as well. I should be getting back to it and contributing to our bank account. There are these things that I want to keep doing, but I left without a plan. She continued and she went on and she was telling me all about the things that she was afraid she was doing wrong that only made her feel even worse about her decision about leaving, even though she told me over and over again it was a great decision and she knew she made the right choice. She was beating herself up. She wasn't going to win this battle, was she? And it was all back to the uncertainty about what happens next. So remember, these are just thoughts. Everything she said, we run our dialogue out our mouths and like from our brains to our mouths like they are the news. She's telling me all of her thoughts, which is exactly what I wanted her to do on the call. So she's telling me these things. And the more she talked, the more she shared about what she learned about herself and what she really needed and wanted. So on this call, the more she told me, the more she talked herself in a circle, the clearer she got on what she wanted. She wanted structure. Structure creates certainty. if she knew what she was doing when she got up in the morning, if she knew the next step towards like any next step that created structure for her, she was going to feel more secure and she was going to let go of this anxiety that she was hanging on to. But her problem was that she couldn't get there because she was so stuck in, is this the right step? Is this the right thing for me to do? She wanted certainty. So it wasn't that her old job that she wanted, but she did know that in this whole rush to find a new one, as much as she wanted to know, it wasn't her old job that she wanted, or she wasn't even in a rush to find a new job as much as she was in kind of a desperate place where she just needed some consistency and some structure and some boundaries. And she just basically needed to create a schedule for herself. And it felt impossible because she wasn't sure what to put on the schedule. Is this the right thing to add? Is that the right thing to add? She couldn't get there. So when you start to feel uncertain and you start to put pressure on yourself to hurry up or to get it right or to do it perfectly, you also start to create coping mechanisms. And sometimes those feel really productive and necessary. But what I know from my life, and when I left teaching to start my business, and what Heather talked about are really great examples of why the things we do and we think are oftentimes anything but helpful, even though they make us feel safe in the moment. So for Heather, she started out feeling like she had loads of time to figure out what came next. When I left my job, I didn't have to rush. I knew I had all the time in the world. My spouse was very supportive. It was a great situation. Even though I have all of this time, I'm starting to notice that I have things that I can do that I really want to do, but I'm starting to feel bored. And I don't know about you, but what I've seen, especially with younger kids right now, is that boredom for so many people, especially people with anxious brains who tend to get really creative and dark in their thinking sometimes, is boredom is not tolerable. She said that she felt bored. And when she felt bored, she felt unmotivated. She felt wishy-washy. She had tons of freedom. And that freedom was causing her more boredom and more uncertainty. So not only had her day-to-day life changed when she left her job, but she also lost her routine and she just didn't have that definite landing point that her brain needed. So it gets a little more complicated though, because she loved having that time to do what she was doing, but she also used that against herself. Do you notice yourself doing that? Where you're like, I have all the time in the world. Oh my God, I should be more productive. Or, oh, I have all the time to find the perfect job. What if I never find the perfect job? What if there isn't a perfect job, you guys? So what happened was that she was avoiding decisions. She was avoiding structure and even avoiding trying to make a workout routine or meal prep because she wanted to do it right and she wanted it to be the perfect decision. And that just doesn't exist. And rationally, we all know that. But it is very, very normal for your brain to tell you that if you don't have this thing exactly right, you will fail and then everything will fall apart. It won't be perfect and people will wonder what the heck is wrong with you. Your brain is sneaky like that. And my best advice for you is to get help to recognizing how to stop the loop of feeling anxious and believing your thoughts. That is exactly what I help people do. So if that sounds like you, if you're like, yes, but I don't know how to stop. I think I was born to be a perfectionist. I think that I am terrified to fail, even though I know that's silly and that's how we learn. Yes, but the thing is that anxiety isn't rational, is it? Those fears, even though we know they're irrational, we still feel them in our body. And that's what I can help you solve for. You have to be willing to feel all of those chemical reactions and feeling inside of your body to be able to stop believing your thoughts. And there are a couple of ways that we can get started working together on this that can get you going right away. One is through a boundaries and balance audit. And that audit is just a really simple and quick way for you to get a bird's eye view of your life. So I want you to imagine that you're hovering over your own life, looking down, and you can see all the different areas. We're going to talk about your relationships. We're going to talk about your mental and emotional health. We're going to talk about your job. We're going to talk about having fun and your social life. We're going to talk about your physical health. All of these different areas. What's your value? What's your purpose? What do you know? And you're going to rank them for me. And then this is the important part. After you rank them on a scale of 1 to 10, you're going to tell me why you chose what you chose. And I'm just going to listen. And I'm going to repeat back to you what I'm hearing. so that you know exactly like, hey, this actually, why did you rate this a 7? You just told me all the things that are going really well. I want to hear your answers, because this is where we start to find those trends or those thought habits that are keeping you from taking action. We want to find those habits. This audit is a perfect way to do it. It's 45 minutes. It's all about you. You get a summary, and we're just going to talk about this is what's going well. This is what needs your attention. Then you get to tell me where you're going to start. I'm not going to tell you what to do at all. That's really not what coaching is about. Really, that's more consulting. With some of my clients, I do 99% coaching and a tiny bit of consulting in there. If they say, what would you do? I'll tell you what I would do. After you tell me what you want to do, I'll tell you what I do. You can decide what you want to do. I'm never, ever, ever going to be like, this is your job. I will tell you what you need to focus on, though. Okay, so the audit is one way. The second way that you can start getting really grounded inside of your body is through my new course that is Unwind Your Mind. It is an audio course. It is 5 days of short lessons. And by short, I mean no longer than 12 to 15 minutes, so that you can turn them on and listen to them on your commute. You can listen to them while you're getting ready in the morning. You can listen to them while you're making dinner. They're going to be impactful. They are going to be bite-sized, and they are going to give you the foundation to learn how to separate your body from your thoughts. From there, if you want to go deeper, we can talk about working one-on-one. But these are two simple, very affordable ways for you to get the help to start moving forward. The Boundaries and Balance Audit and the Unwind Your Mind audio course. Both of those things are in the links in this podcast episode. I'm really going to encourage you to do something, because uncertainty will cause you to spin an indecision, and indecision will make you feel more anxious, just like it has with Heather. All right. You guys, you do not have to believe everything you think. You do not have to stay stuck. But to get unstuck, you have to make a decision to move forward, even if it feels scary and uncomfortable, even if you're not 100% positive. You have to learn to stop and listen to your intuition, and to say yes to what is best for you in the moment. You can trust yourself. I can show you how to trust yourself, how to feel more confident, how to feel more calm, how to have more time and energy for your job and your family and for yourself. That is what I do, and I cannot wait to talk with you. I will be back again next week.
Hey, before you go, I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me on More Than Anxiety. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review so more people can find it too. And if you're ready to see what's going well so you can celebrate more, what's not working or what's keeping you stuck, and have a focused, intentional step forward, join me for a Boundaries and Balance audit. You'll learn all about the audit and choose a time that works best for you at megandevito.com. Just head to the show notes, click the link, and let's talk. I can't wait to connect with you soon.